Hello, my name is John Rose, and in this video I'd like to take a look at one of the many things that we don't teach our so-called experts in the fields of medicine and nutrition, which have to do with our health. In a previous video I showed that they don't teach nutritionists the elimination system, and they don't teach medicine the lymph system. In this video we're going to take a look at the fact that doctors don't study nutrition and nutritionists don't study the disease process or the healing process. In fact, these systems are so inept in both areas that even our so-called medical experts are not taught how the body works, and even our so-called experts in nutrition are not taught what we need to know about food. Why else would there be so much confusion in the field of nutrition if our so-called experts weren't being manipulated and not taught what they need to learn? Why don't they understand the elimination system? If they studied the elimination system, they'd realize the bowel transit time of our food, and then they'd understand what Victor Hugo meant when he talked about having a serpent inside of us. What does that mean, having a serpent inside of us? Well, nutritionists don't know that because they don't study the elimination system. They don't understand the bowel transit time of our food. Most of us have about 12-15 meals backed up in our intestines. So now it's more like a slow, stagnant cesspool instead of a fast-moving sewage system. So this is one of the big reasons why man is not doing very well. We've got a serpent inside of us. It's about a 5 foot long, and then if you include the 22 feet prior to that, serpent, a snake that whips around, meanders around, curves around, looks just like a serpent. And serpents are evil for a reason, or we use them to identify being evil. And in this case, it's very apropos because our intestines are shaped just like the serpent. And if serpents are evil, what does that mean? Well, the opposite of evil is live. So whenever we do something that is the opposite of living, which means not eating the right food, we don't have the right bowel transit time, and the opposite of live, if you spell it backwards, is evil. So that is why they called, or Victor Hugo called this a serpent inside of us. Why is it evil? Because it's against life. We're not supposed to have food taking 3-4 times too long to go through our food tube, so that we have 12-15 meals that are backed up. Victor Hugo also said there's one thing stronger than all the armies in the world. There's only one thing that's stronger than all the armies in the world, and that's when you understand what creates armies. If you understand why we have armies, then you can understand how to defeat the armies. And the reason why we have armies is because we have a serpent inside of us, and then we're lacking the nutrient that's faster than the speed of light inside the nucleus of our cells that makes us feel one with everything. So we have the wrong mentality. And there's only one way to change our mentality. We can't think our way out of it. We actually have to eat our way into it, because when we eat the wrong foods, we're destroying a nutrient that is faster than the speed of light and helps us feel one. That's why we lost our golden age. We destroyed one of our senses. So why is there so much confusion in these areas? Why does our medical system rate in America one of the worst, and we spend the most? It's because it's by design. The people who rule the world can't rule the world unless we're sick and out of control. If we knew how to eat, we'd be reconnected. We wouldn't have a dark side to our behavior, and then we wouldn't have this extreme side of our behavior that wants to control us. It's really a simple solution when you stop and think about it. How do you defeat all the armies in the world? We all get reconnected. We all stop making the mistake that got us where we are right now. You see, we're herd animals. We're headed for a cliff. We're playing follow the leader. We just keep repeating what we've been doing for about 3,000 generations. That's the fall of mankind. And it's hard to break away from the herd. Most people just glide with the stream of the crowd. But we don't have to do that. We can break away from the herd. We can do something we've never done before just on a temporary basis. And that's what my programs are all about. Every program I do, every video I do is going to reference back to the first of a 3-step process I perfected, because we have to get reconnected. Why do I keep going back to this? Because everything else we talk about is a distraction. If we're not getting reconnected, we're not going upstream and figuring out why we're falling in the river. Stop working downstream and pulling people out of the river. Let's go upstream and find out why we're falling into the river. What is the fall of mankind? What is the very first mistake we made? We started cooking our food. It's a no-brainer. So all we have to do to wake everyone up is simply get enough of us to test this idea whose time has come. Why is it stronger than all the armies in the world? Because it will change our mentality without having to think about it. Once we bump up these biophotons, we'll feel a connection that allows us to understand what we're supposed to do, because we feel it. It's not something we have to think about. And I know this is impossible for me to try to explain, and yet I keep doing it, don't I? I'll never find words that can describe a revelation. That's why I keep telling you, testing ideas, time has come, and when you do, I guarantee you, you're in for a treat.